Now you're gonna spend $70. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not cheap, but it's there. Till Saturday.
Sacrifice.
It's been good. It's been really good so far.
Mic check, 1, 2.
Go ahead.
Mic check.
Check 1, 2. Check.
We will let these announcements stop. Oh, look at that.
You just
Perfect
spoke
timing.
You stopped the
I did.
announcements.
Am I powerful?
Apparently.
How do you do it? Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I was just telling her the story of, Richie was telling her the story, and Wilder fell the other day, almost fell, and I caught the back of his head, and Richie was like, "That was impressive," and I said, "I'm effing Spider-Man," and Forrest picked up on that immediately, so he said effing Spider-Man for about an hour.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
Anyways, welcome to the Champion Living Podcast. We are here with one of our favorite people, Jordan Jo Hollobaugh.
Morning.
How are you?
Great. How are you guys?
We are fantastic. Are you hanging in there?
I'm loving it so far.
Loving
It's
it.
been fantastic.
Yeah.
You've been around the Champion Living crew since the beginning.
Yeah.
Do you know Jared Johnston?
Yes.
Okay, we had him on yesterday, and we've been friends for we've discovered way too long. And the amount of time that flies by and feels like no time at all. So I'm thinking back, you got signed on with me when you won Cheyenne. So how many years ago was that?
That was in 2019. I still remember, this is how
That's
old
crazy.
we've been. The workout videos I first started were in you with no shirt on, in a blue yoga mat.
Probably outside
doing
my
some
house.
Plank.
It was on the
Yeah.
front porch of that place in Huntsville.
Front porch in Huntsville.
Yeah, that's exactly
how
right.
old.
Yeah.
That's how long we've been doing this.
OG.
Yeah.
Yes. No, it's been awesome. But over those last 7 years, God, we are getting old.
It goes by fast.
It goes by too fast. I'm not liking it. And all of a sudden, I have a child now, and it's going by even faster.
And he's wild.
He is literally wild. Yeah, than me.
Literally.
Yeah, he's wilder than me. That's crazy. But over those last 7 years, there's been a lot of evolution to Jordan Jo.
Mm-hmm.
And from the roping to now the commentating, the entertainment side of it, being a mentor to the younger generation, I literally see you everywhere on social media. And it's in the arena, out of the arena, on the TV, and it's so awesome to see.
Thank you.
Something I really want to, by the end of this, I want to be able to answer, who did you have to become to let yourself be all of these things?
Mm-hmm.
Because we wear a lot of hats, and it's almost impossible sometimes. And so I just want to, by the end of this, that's what I want to get to. But when did you know that you were going to be a competitor? Let's get just from rodeo. When did you start roping?
So I started, I think I knew when I was, playing little league basketball, soccer, swimming, all the things, was just very, very competitive.
want to win.
I see her, I want to take her out. So, but just my whole family's competitive, and I think that's just kind of where it came from. I just didn't have a choice. I first started riding and roping when I was 4 or 5 years old, and I was just on the back of a horse ever since then. And so it just kind of evolved from there. But, I went up through the junior rodeo ranks, the high school. I high school rodeoed just 1 year because a lot of it I team roped growing up with my mom and dad. And so I competed competitively at the U.S. team ropings more than I did breakaway, really. I was one of the first women that was a number 6 header, and I was so proud of that. I still have my little card that said I was a 6, but
cool.
There was 2 of us at that time.
Yeah.
And so that, I've always been a competitor. I've always wanted to be the best and do whatever it took, and there's just been a lot of doors and a lot of blessings open for me to do what I do.
Okay, so what's the first win that you remember?
So the first win I remember probably is at Gallup, New Mexico at a team rope, and the only reason I remember this win, I won 2 saddles there, but to get there, we had to go over a pass called Rabbit Ears in Colorado.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly where that is.
You should not go over that with a trailer and a truck, just FYI. But we went over this pass, and we got stuck on the top of it, and we literally had to unload 4 horses. And when we left Pueblo, Colorado, it was 80 degrees, so I had shorts and flip-flops on.
It was probably dumping up
and
there.
it was blizzarding at the top of Rabbit Ears. And so literally we had to unload all 4 horses. We're all freezing. We had to walk them over the pass. Somebody, thank gosh, stopped and helped my dad. We literally had team ropes tied to the trucks. We didn't have chains tied to the front of these trucks. Ropes are breaking and popping. We're trying to get over this pass. Anyway, Farmington, New Mexico, we get to the we get over the pass, we get to the roping, and I think I was 13 years old, and I don't even know, man, that makes me kind of emotional, but I won 2 saddles there, one with my mom, one with Logan Medlin. I remember
so cool.
sitting out back, like, I didn't have a very good weekend to kind of start it off, and I remember sitting out there crying, telling my dad, I just can't win, and I can't do anything, and he's like, you need to pick your sucker up out of the dirt and go do what you know how to do, and I won the next 2 ropings. And so just that was one of my first fond memories of a deal where it was really hard to get there. You know, you had a roller coaster of emotions and then came out on the top at the end.
That's fun. I love stories like that.
Yeah.
It reminds me, I got on Wise Guy. I never drew anything good when I rodeoed. I felt like I would just draw the colts or the stuff no one wanted to get on. And so this one time, Taylor Price traded with me. And I has never let
you
me,
drew what he
has
drew.
never let me live it down. He's like, I was supposed to get on him. But anyways, I got to get on him, and I was like, I was amped, I was scared. Not scared, I was just nervous of failing more than anything, right? I knew I was capable, and I knew it was a big opportunity for me to kind of have that breakthrough moment where I'm over 80 points at a pro rodeo, right? We had 3 blowouts on the way there, and I'm like having a meltdown because it's getting like 30 minutes before the perf. We're 30 minutes away, and we don't have tires any left. Like, no tires left in the car to change. So Richie's like, don't freak out. Like, you're good. He calls Jacobs, and him and Sterling are coming through. They pick me up in the ambulance, and we roll in there, and it's like, Dougie's getting
Specify
on.
the ambulance is their rig.
Their
It's
rig,
not
yes.
like a true ambulance.
They
It's
took
what
an
they drove.
ambulance. Well, they took a real ambulance, and they stripped
They
it
made
all
it
out
into a
and made it
rodeo
into a
rig.
rodeo rig. And Huey still has that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be at the
That's so
Huey
cool.
party tonight.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. But that was like photo finish. Dude, I was a wreck. Jeremy Willis is picking up, and he knows that I'm just, I'm wigged out a little bit. And on video, you can hear him. It's just a horse, Dougie, as I nod my head. And I was like 84 or 5, and it
That's
was like the
awesome.
coolest thing ever. But
That's so
that's one
cool.
of those moments, too, I'm just like, that gives me chills just thinking
That's
about
awesome.
it, right?
Isn't it funny how you can look back on your career and you can see those defining moments where like your experience, I would say that shaped you into your understanding of just because today didn't go well doesn't mean tomorrow won't. And we also, I think that it's really important for us to not look at it that way when you're in it, though, because it's like then every ride becomes, or every run becomes
Next
a
one.
defining
Yeah.
moment. It's like there are no defining moments when you're in it, but then when you're done, we can look back and you can see those moments that really shaped the competitor, which I think is awesome to be able to have. Like, I don't have one of those until I was probably 22. To have one at 13, man, that's such a cool thing, I think.
Well, and I think I heard the other day, and it helped me, and I'm like, still at 34, I'm like, that changed my game. I'm always changing the game, but it's like, don't set goals. And she's not that you don't set goals, but you're in it, be in it for the long haul. Like, you're in it for the long game. You're not in it for, like, once I get this goal, then what? Like, you want goals along the way, but you're just put in there, like, this is the lifestyle I live. I'm in it for the long haul. And I think that helped me more than anything to shape your perspective. But, two, it's like, going through those defining moments and things like that, I think we don't celebrate the wins enough. Like, even talking about that, now I'm like, I'm going to have to go journal that. I journal now. It's a big thing. But seriously, we don't celebrate the wins enough. And to remember, like, when you're in the hardest of hard and you've blown 3 tires and you're like, this ain't looking good, you'd be like, still have some of that fire, and you'd be like, okay, it's okay. I've been through this. I can get through it. I can do it. But I don't think we celebrate the wins enough in rodeo, and that's something I want to try to change.
I love that. And that's one of the things I tell guys, a lot of my clients. I'm like, listen, if I could go back and do anything, I would have way more fun and drink way less beer. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I can remember being 87, 89, and I don't even smile. You just jog right out of the arena and you go get your rigging, because guess what? I'm anxious about the fact that I've got to try to do that again tomorrow. I don't care if you're 67, high five the kids. Throw your hat. Enjoy the experience, because the window of time we get to do this is so limited.
It is.
Sorry.
No, I'm just like, I'm processing 13-year-old Joe wins these saddles. So that was learning to win. Like, that's the first time that you're like, I can do this. As that evolved for you, that was in team roping. So where did breakaway come into the picture?
So it's funny, like my husband asks me this all the time. You had so much confidence in team roping. You have so much confidence in talking, which I'm like, I'm total BSer, so obviously. But it's like I didn't have confidence in the breakaway. So I get to college, and I did, like, even still today, like, I team roped the other day. And, like, in my head, I was visualizing I'm like Caleb Driggers, but, like, it came out like a number 3.
Yeah,
it wasn't good because I hadn't practiced. But, like, I didn't have the confidence in the breakaway because I didn't know how to win. I hadn't won. I hadn't had the results. So I went to college, and I had this facade on that, like, I'm this big, bad, tough breakaway roper. I can do whatever, team rope, go tie, blah, blah, blah. Well, like, I couldn't really do that. I was just like, fake it till you never make it. And so I college rodeoed for 4 years, and I did not make the college finals. And so I went on and got my master's, mainly because I wanted to try again for a 5th year. But then they're like, well, it helps if you have a master's. Big whoopty. No, it doesn't. But anyway, so I did it for 5 years. So that's when my husband, Raymond, came on WT. He was the coach there. And so he's like, I'm like, hey, I want to learn how to breakaway rope. And he's like, you're going to have to undo everything you've ever done. I was 22 years old. And I'm like, I'll do it. Let's do it. And so I was 4th that year. They take top 3, didn't make it again. And so 5 years in a row, never made the college finals. And there was a moment I remember, like, do I quit? Do I not do this? Like, what do I do? And I'm like, hell no, I'm going to figure this out. And so I always felt like I started, just like you saying, you had that moment when you were 22. Like, yeah, I had successful moments in team roping, but there was some type of brain block in there that it didn't convey to breakaway. I still work on having confidence in the breakaway daily because it's changing, it's evolving, but, like, I didn't have it. So literally, I remember the first day we ran 80 calves. I broke down, cried, didn't make the college finals again. Like, are you going to quit or are you not? And he's like, are you going to quit? And I'm like, he's like, if you want to quit, I understand. If not, be out there 1 o'clock tomorrow. I'll have the horses saddled. I'm like, okay, I might not see you. So out 1 o'clock, here I show up. And he's like, get on. And I'm like, okay, we ran 80 calves, and I didn't get to use a rope. He made me use it with rope without a rope to try to work on my body position, whatever. And I was so mad. I'm like, you're not going to let me use a rope? And he's like, well, you can't catch him with a rope. What's it matter? This is 100% catch ratio, So anyway.
That's the man I want to marry.
Yeah, and then I'm like, can I marry you? But, yeah, so it's been hard. Yeah. And it's been a fight daily, every day. But it's something that I really, I wanted to prove it to myself.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where it started at 23.
No one ever sees this part of it, right? The self-doubt. And they see you at this elite level winning the biggest rodeos there are on the planet, and they're like, this girl never doubts herself a day in her life. You talked a lot about doubt that creeps in, and I just want everyone to know, to remember, this is so normal. That is human nature. Normal. That is going to happen regardless of whatever you do.
I remember calling you, so fast forward, 2019, before I go to Cheyenne, I have no money. $0. Entered in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And I don't want to go. I don't even deserve to do, whatever. All this fake crap, the evil devil saying whatever. Yeah. Raymond's like, you're entered.
You're going.
Go. You got to try it. And I'm like, okay. So I win Cheyenne. Yeah. I'm never have another broke day, right? Yeah. So then it's like I have some money, $110,000, I think. So I'm like, enter me up now. Win second at the Spicer Grip. It just got some momentum there. Go. Yeah. Made my first national finals, 2020. It just seemed like I was on a roll. Catch all 12 calves there, and that was our goal. Yep. I'm gonna wanted to win the average. Won the average. They didn't give a buckle that year. Yep. Buttheads. Anyway, but high of high. And then I put all this pressure on myself to be a world champion, and I couldn't hit Fluffy if you run him in front of me. And I remember talking to Doug at Greeley. Yeah. And I'm like bawling to him, like, I don't have any confidence. And I remember we're sitting on this deal outside of the trailer, and he's like, dude, just keep it simple. Dude, you're good. And I'm thinking, you think I'm good? I do not think I'm good. I can show you I'm not good. Yeah. But just listening, I'm like, well, he has confidence in me. Why don't I have confidence in me? So that's kind of where the conversation really started, of asking myself that question. I had the pattern of feeling sorry for myself, riding the up and high roller coaster. But then it started with the conversation of, why don't I have confidence? And that's kind of where it's built from there.
Go ahead.
I fully believe that the hardest event on the mindset, it's not a rough stock event. It's without a doubt breakaway roping. And the reason being is that there's so many moving pieces, and to be as fast as you need to be to win at that level, there's a lot of luck that has to go involved, because it's pretty well, if you're not dumping it when you come across the line, you ain't doing nothing.
No.
There's so many things, and so it can be so hard, I can imagine. If you can become a confident breakaway roper, you could probably make the finals in the bareback riding for sure. I have no doubt if you wanted to, because the mindset is...
I would definitely try because I'm better than Richmond. But no, but even Richmond and I were having this conversation last night, is that, like, it is that we all go through the same things. We just don't talk about it enough. That's why I'm like, I want to start talking about it more. But secondly is the fact of, like, there are a lot of uncontrollables. So learning how to deal with what I can control and what I can't. But the best and worst thing about us, when we first started coming out, there was 20, 30 girls that breakaway roped all the time. And so I could go and make a consistent run that didn't put me out of my comfort zone and win consistently. Now all these little rats have watched these videos that we've put out there because we think we're cute on social media, even though we were training the younger people. But they've learned so much faster now. They try things. Always. Like, I would say breakaway roping, you always hear it's evolved. Last year, 6 months into it, it changed. Too flat or faster is, if you're not too flat, you're not winning anything. And there's girls that used to, it was like, there was a lot of girls that roped good and had some good horses. Now they have great horses. There's girls all over the world that can win at any given day. And then you've got to try to beat them. Like, this year, 5 out of the 6 gold buckles didn't make the national finals.
It's wild.
There's 4 new rookies, and so it really is one of the toughest. I mean, and I'm biased, obviously. I think they're all tough. Don't get me wrong, but it is one of the toughest events to consistently win at.
I think it's the most competitive event right
without
now.
a doubt.
Like there's just too many competitors. Well, like you were talking about, it was a small pond back in the day, and now we have an ocean with a lot of big fish in it.
Lots of fish.
Lots of good fish.
I got a harpoon though.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Not just the breakaway roping, but Doug and I were talking about the barrel racing as well.
Man.
It's those events. There's so much turnover year to year. In the bareback riding or the bull riding, you can count on probably the same 7, 8, 9, 10 guys even. They're going to go for 3, 4, 5, 6 years in a row or more, right? Barring injury. There might be the same 3 girls in a breakaway roping or same 2 or 3 in the barrel racing, but by and large, it's a new group because the horsepower, everybody... So many girls have the horsepower to be able. So many girls are talented enough to be able to rope, and it's anybody's ball game when you show up to those big rodeos.
One girl's made every national finals, and that's Shelby Medjid.
I was going to say, I think
Martha and Shelby were the 2 left.
That's wild.
That, and so we do 15 days of breakaway, so it's been cool to have those stats to count it down and see 2 girls this year had a chance to be in there, and Martha. I mean, which you can't ever count Martha Angeloni out, but she didn't get it done this year. Shelby Medjid's made all 6, and that's it.
That's so rank.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And it's just a testament to the sport, and it's cool, but tide's changed a lot.
Okay, so when you start thinking about this and how competitive it is, the horses are almost pretty equal across the board, right? The cattle how do you get more consistent cattle? Is that, I don't want to say an issue, but is that kind of like, that's the drawing game, right?
It's a big challenge.
Right.
And it's a big drawing game, just like everybody faces. Yeah. We rope, a lot of the times we rope retired tie-down calves. And so they've been roped for, 3 to 6 months before we've roped them. The hardest thing on cattle is like breakaway roping. When they finally figure out after they've been roped that nothing's going to stop them or turn around, that's when they usually get pretty smart and pretty sorry. And so that's one thing that is a challenge for breakaway ropers, especially with the cattle charges and stuff, is that we don't get to rope as consistent calves as we would like to see, which I don't know that there's a right answer for that, right? The stock contractors are doing the best that they can. It's a really high game to play. I mean, there's so many factors that go into it, but the stock is huge. And so the biggest thing in the breakaway now, I think, is they only bring 1/3 of enough cattle because we don't have in our rules. It's not like the PRCA. So in a guy's timed event, you can only run a set of cattle. You have to have half enough. So never will a guy have like a 3rd or 4th run, meaning like in the breakaway, there will be 200 girls, and there will be girls that have a 3rd run on the cattle or a 4th run on the cattle that day.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to beat the best of the best when they've sat there and they've watched those calves run. They know the pattern. They know how they're going to leave. They know what it's going to take to be in the top 10 to place. Like, it is extremely hard to beat those girls. It's not going to happen. So essentially, if you have a first run, it's kind of like drawing a bad horse. You might as well just turn out.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. Is I never thought about positioning on the day sheet and being in slack and being at the bottom of slack, being at the beginning of slack.
Yeah.
You think about it in the way that you can work rodeos, right? I'm like, well, that definitely plays a factor, but the fact that you could have the opportunity to get the third run on that calf.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many factors.
And I think that's one of the things you're going to see set the veterans apart a little bit from the younger girls. They're still going to be able to win at any time, but are they going to know how to enter and try their best to hit at certain times and things like that is in that learning curve? Because if you have a second or third run, that's you're giving yourself a chance. I'm not saying that there isn't going to be money won on a first run, but it's a very small margin.
Yeah, I mean, anything is possible, right? You see guys crack first one out of the NFR.
Right.
They win the first round. You're
Right.
like, holy smokes, that's insane. Never happens, right? So let's talk about a little competitive advantage, because as an athlete, you became an athlete when these things weren't going well, right? When things got tough, you were like, how can I be more competitive? I can be stronger. I can be more stable in my saddle. That's got to give you an advantage. And I don't want to say we have the hardest time with female athletes, but they a lot of times would much rather take that investment and put into supplements for a horse or treatment for a horse and not themselves.
Well, I think the biggest thing that you totally debunked in our thought process is I was scared to work out and get big.
Right.
I didn't want to be Helga. I mean, I got made fun of in high school for having the thunder thighs. Like, I didn't want to be that. And so I didn't fully understand the knowledge and the studies and the structure behind working out. Like, now I'm pumped. Almost text you the other day. I'm like, I'm at 35s. Like, I started out at 5s. And you're like, hey, dude, go up a little bit more. And I'm like, hey, dude, stop texting me. And so it's learning what works for your body and what doesn't. That's why I think the girls are like, I don't want to work out because I don't want to get big. Where I called you and I'm like, I want to work out because I want to be able to get in front of my horse when I'm coming across the line. I have to be ready to throw this rope. I've got to be strong. We've battled injuries with my shoulder. We've gone through some of the stuff with my knee. Like, that's where I'm like, I do think, just like we're seeing in the timed event, rough stock, everybody is trying to have that competitive edge as an athlete. What can I do to be as strong as I can to be too flat consistently? And I hate you because, well, you work me out, but like, I've learned so much from you, but like, I shouldn't say this. Working out has taught me more than anything. I've cried I hate you. I've cried during so many workouts, not because it hurt, but because I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, I'm just going to do one more set.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, I did it. I'm like, I'm going to do, and then just before the finals last year, I'm jumping rope and I'm like, I want to do 60 in a row. I'd mess up. I'm like, it's all right. I'm going to keep going. I apply that to breakaway as I'm working out, right? It's like, I broke the barrier. All right, I'm going to run another one. Yeah. I did. So then at the end of it, like, I got through 60, but it's training your mind not to beat yourself is how it's worked for me.
Yes.
And so I've done that through working out because that's the only way I know how to take out my emotions, which we all know women have a lot of emotions. Emotions, anxieties, fears, like that's where working out has helped me to become a competitor, because that's where I've learned how to harness it, overcome it, push myself. And then some of the times I get through the hardest workouts you gave me and I'm like, I could do more sets. And I'm like, but I'm going to have coffee instead, But it's like that. So to me, that's where I've learned a lot.
It's like you just described discipline.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people are missing, that simple thing, right? And it is doing the stuff you want to do or that you do not want to do when you need to do it. And tears or not, it needs to get done, right? Yeah. And that's the difference, is you went and did it.
Most of the time when I wake up, I'm not like, oh, joy, I get to go do my Champion Living Fitness workout. I'm like, I hate Doug. I don't want to talk to Doug. This is stupid. Yeah. And then at the end, I'm like, I love Doug. This is awesome.
Yeah. No, that's it, though. It trains you to do hard things and get the good feeling after. And that's where I think a lot of this resilience is built, because the last 2 years of rodeo, working together with you, like, it's been tough, dude. And there's been, like we were talking about how competitive it is, there's been so many conversations you and I have had where you're like, I have to almost break the barrier every time to win. Like, I have to be pressing it every time. And we went through, I think, 5 or 6 rodeos in a row where you broke the barrier every single time. Yeah. But we would have been 1-7 or 1-6. And it was like, I could hear it in you. It's like getting to you, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't let it. And so how do you keep getting through that? How do you keep pushing that edge and keep going, because you know you're right on the edge of like, I'm either going to win a ton or I'm going to keep losing?
I hated losing more than I did not winning.
Yeah. So the push is like worth it in that sense.
Because to me, it's like there are still things that now I can look at it as a growth mindset. You've helped me with that a bunch. Before it was like a fixed mindset. It was like, if I win, I'm okay. People love me. They praise you. You're the best of the best. Jordan Jo, we love you. I have 500 texts on my phone after I'm 1-7 at San Antonio. Dust won to win Salt Lake. Ain't nobody texting me. You know what I mean? And so it's
I
like,
texted you.
I know.
I text you every time.
Yeah, whatever. But I mean, seriously, so having those people that if I win, I know you're going to be there, and if I lose, I know I can call you, and you're going to listen to me, and then you're going to say like, all right, get off your low horse, like, let's go.
Yep.
And so having those people is huge. But then also it's like, I just had to make my mind up. This is what it takes to win. I can be off the barrier, and I can go be a 2.5 and pat myself on the back for completing the course, and they're going to kick my butt, and I'm not going to win. So what's the difference of me trying to push the barrier and be 1-7 and it might work, or back off and be 2.5 and not win?
There's so much to be said for that, and I think you could apply it to any event in rodeo, really. You have to get reps at that speed and level to get to that level, right? That 2.5 is your comfort zone. You could do that all day, but you're still going to have the same result if we ran through the barrier regardless. So it's making that transition in the mind, like, and you will get better at timing that if you keep practicing that stuff, right? The fear sets in, the self-sabotage of like, oh, I can't do that. Like, she's better than me, you know, and that's bullshit, right? That's not real. So it's just cool to hear someone at your level that's been through all of this. It's real. Like,
it's real. Everyone
goes through this, and I just hope every young athlete, whether you're a girl or a guy, like, everyone goes through this. Everyone puts their pants on the same every morning, and everyone has a little bit of self-doubt. It's that makes people elite is the ability to reframe it in your mind, to say, you said that was the devil earlier. You're like, get out of here, right? Yeah. Whatever it is, that's bad energy, the devil, whatever it is to you, like, you have to train your brain to say, that is not real. This is what reality is, and turn that thought around, right? And so that's a rodeo, relationships, business, like all of it applies to that. Business is something I want to talk about next, because you evolved as an athlete over 15 years, right? And the thing about rodeo, being an athlete, is you are a entrepreneur, whether you like it or not. You are a business owner, and you know, some athletes benefit from that and others do not because they don't take it seriously. But where did this transition start to change for you? Where did you start to say, okay, I am a businesswoman as a cowgirl, as a rodeo athlete, but you're the host of In Loop podcast. You are the host of the pre and post shows here with Teton Ridge and the NFR. Like, where in your life where you're like, I think I want to do something different. I can do more. When did that start happening for you?
So I think, you know, really the first year I didn't make the NFR, I thought it was the lowest of the load I'd ever been in. David Sharp with Wrangler said, hey, come and commentate at the national finals. And I was like, get out of here. I hate you. I'm not talking to breakaway ropers. They beat me. Why would I want to do that? It's the dumbest thing ever. And so there I was talking to breakaway ropers, but it opened so many doors for me. And then I was like, I learned. Because at the end of the day, being honest with myself is something I've had to do that I don't like to do. But I didn't rope good enough to make it that year. I made mistakes. I didn't capitalize. I had to be honest. You know, at the time I was like, well, if I would have had this, then if I had her horse, or if I ran that calf, I would have won too. Well, why didn't you? Because you weren't good enough. And so he helped me a bunch. But at that point, I knew and we all know as athletes, you can be. Okay, we'll take Stetson Wright, for example. I mean, 2 years ago, everybody was talking about Stetson Wright. He gets hurt. Last year, did you hear anybody talk about Stetson Wright? Not really.
Not near as much, obviously.
When you're out of sight, out of mind, you're gone.
We were talking about this yesterday. I think it was you that said, maybe it wasn't. I can't remember exactly. It's like rodeo is a very much like a.
It's a what have you done for me lately sport.
100%.
Yeah.
And so it's all for what we want to do and stuff, but it's like that. So that to me was like, okay, I am not going to be able to competitively win, even though I'd love to until I'm 90. It's not going to happen, right? So I'm going to try to capitalize as much as I can with the amazing people that I've met and try to start opening doors to set myself up, because I will always be involved in rodeo. And so I just wanted to be, I love the lifestyle, I love to travel, I love to be around it. So I'm like, how can I continue to do that and build this while I'm rodeoing, to where if I don't want to go to 80 rodeos in 5 years, then I don't have to. I don't want to get done and put everything I've got into it and know, like, if I don't win, I'm not paying for my house. I'm not paying for the truck and trailer. I'm not paying, you know what I mean? So that was my goal in trying to start some of this stuff, is I thought I wanted to set myself apart as not just a breakaway roper, especially these sponsors and these partners that we've got. Like, I want to be able to talk about rodeo and do things and help them grow and help me grow. Josh Peak, when I was 8 years old, came to my school and did a career day. He's such a nerd. But he was one of the first people that was sponsored by Toyota. Like, they gave him a truck. And he wore that jersey, and everybody made fun of him. And he didn't care. But he told me in that deal, or not me, he's talking to all of us in 4th grade, but he said, it's not about what they can do for you. It's about what you can do for them. How are you building that relationship, and how is it long lasting? And just that simple statement, I won't ever forget it. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do. And so that's kind of why I wanted to start these businesses and the podcasts and stuff. I love talking stories. But I learned from those girls. I'm like, man, Shelby Medjid's scoring like this, and that's what sets her apart. Jackie Crawford, Larry D. Guy, Aaron Johnson. Like, as I was interviewing these girls, I was learning. So I'm like, I'm going to use this to work for me and try to get better.
Absolutely.
Instead of it working against me. So that's kind of where it started. And I'm like, what do I do after breakaway to still be involved in rodeo and help it grow? And so that's kind of where it came from.
Did you see like a void almost that you could fill in the rodeo world with this like community that you started through that?
I think that, like we're talking about, and you've been one of the courageous ones to do it too, but not enough people talk about the hardships of rodeo. And I don't think growing up there was anybody that I could really look up to that was going to talk about being insecure.
Generationally, that wasn't a thing then.
It doesn't happen.
No.
You're tough, you're fine, don't cry. If you want to be a girl, go sit outside of the arena. That's what my dad says.
Hey, no, that's real though.
You know,
my dad told me that too.
And nothing against like my dad and like what he knew or how he, how they raised me, but it's like I agree with that to an extent, but at some point you got to go through it. And so that's where I think the gap is let's talk about this. Here I am helping these little rats again, but let's talk about this to change the generation coming up to where we can be friends and then still compete.
Yeah.
We can be going through some of the roughest times and still be there for everybody. We can create that community. We can grow as people and still rodeo and still win. You don't have to take your grandmother out to be a world champion.
Go ahead. You got to come face to face with your insecurities at some point in time if you're ever going to put them behind you. There has to be that moment. And for a lot of us, not for a lot of us, but for some of us that are blessed enough to be able to come to that almost organically and walk through that ourselves, like, man, praise God, we're able to move on. But what really should be happening is that there should be mentors and people in our lives like yourself that are able to see people really wrestling with their insecurities or wrestling with that self-doubt, and to be able to come along and say, hey, I've been there. Come with me. Like, let me show you what's on the other side of this, because there are lots of people that will spend their entire lives wrestling with their insecurities and will never level up.
No, they control you.
That's exactly right. They live life determined by what they're by their insecurities.
Yeah, and I think there's this unspoken lie that, sweep them under the rug, like, no, not going there. For me, when I finally was like, I'm insecure, and I said it out loud, and I wrote it down, I'm like, ooh, I felt lighter.
Yep.
Like, but instead of it controlling me, I was able, and I don't like to say I control it, because at the end of the day, God is in control, right? And I'm trying to serve God, but I can take action.
100%.
You have to take action.
Yeah.
I have to take action, but it didn't control me anymore. I can see it, and it doesn't own me, and I can work towards how do I not be that? I don't like that. How do I not be that? But I had to say, like, hey, I'm jealous of that girl because she won.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm full of fear. And I don't want to like just talk about those things, because there are moments where you're not that and whatever, but I think those things, like, people don't talk about enough.
You have to get through those things to get to that I'm confident I can do this,
Right.
right? And taking the steps. And I love that, like, you know, you do these things to serve God. But a lot of people, I think, paralyze themselves in the sense they think God is going to just come rescue them like a fairy tale,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, no, he gives you these tools
Yeah,
and
you
these
gotta do
things that
it.
you can go act on and fight that, right? And like that's what you have to take action and go do those things, or else it's never going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
Everyone goes through this, and even in our business, we've talked about. In the beginning, I used to hate hard conversations, like hate them. I used to vent to you about this, like I have to call so and so, and like I don't want to do this. I love them now. Like hard conversations are my favorite thing because at the end of them, it's like it's great things come. Like they're like, oh, that felt good. I am scared. That's okay. Now
Yeah.
we can fix that, right? Or we messed up here. Now we can fix. We can move on to that, and it's like
You never
get good at that.
You never have an opportunity where I look at something good that happened in my life, a moment in time in which I leveled up, whether it's in bareback riding, whether it's in coaching, whether it's in being a husband or a father. I never had a moment in which I leveled up that wasn't preceded by a really hard conversation that was extremely awkward, or a really hard situation in which somebody cared about me enough to say, hey, I'm not getting on to you, but I'm just telling you, if this doesn't change, it's happened multiple times with Doug and myself in the coaching, or my wife or whatever. And in those times, in the moment, I'm always, that's incorrect. You're wrong and
Yeah.
I'm right. And the more that I pray about it and I think about it, I come to this realization, you're 100% correct. I can't change directions immediately right now, but how can I start to move more in the direction of being like where I need to be, right? But it's you never are going to really reach your potential unless you're willing to not only have those hard conversations with other people, more importantly, receive that word from somebody else.
Well, and isn't it ironic? I agree with you 200%. Like, didn't make the finals, came back, got better, when I won $350,000 the next year. So it's like, isn't it ironic that, yes, those things that were tough battles precede the greatest memories, moments in our life, but then again, we forget that so fast.
Oh, yeah.
And when they come back up, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, and I hate this. But it is, and I think one thing, like I had a conversation this morning with Elizabeth, is I was going through a trial, and in the minute I was like, so in front of my face, I couldn't see it. And as I started talking through it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to use this to work for me.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'm like, okay, this is okay. I made this decision. Here I go. But like my husband, you say, you know, people confronting you. I used to get so mad at him. Poor guy. Poor Raymond. He would always like call me up, and I would just like want to run him over with my truck. I'm like, go stand out on the road. We'll see who's faster.
Yeah.
You know, run fast.
Yeah.
But instead of me looking at that like he loves me enough to, and he knows I can give more, I was like, he doesn't think I'm good enough, and I try so hard, and oh my gosh, whatever, you know.
Yep.
But it's like the people that are closest to you, if they love you,
Yeah.
they will tell you,
Yeah.
pull your head out of your butt.
Yeah.
You can do more. You're okay. And then it's like, you know, not running those people away in the process, hopefully.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing. What a blessing to have those people
Yeah.
in your life that care about you enough, because not everybody has those kind
No.
of people.
No,
They
that's
don't
true.
have that many people around them. There's a community to support them and encourage them and so on and so forth. So, and have those hard conversations.
Hard conversations are, I mean, that's what is funny to me. It's like all of us can sit here and think of a hard conversation we had that came out as a good result. But then we forget, and then another hard thing comes up, and we just want to like lay down on the floor and kick like Wilder, you know? I mean, which I can. I
Yeah,
could probably do
me
better.
Too. You probably could. I
Yeah.
think I could do better too.
We
He's
can have
pretty
a
good at it.
competition.
We'll get him here next week. we'll get the cameras out. We'll have a little competition. The hard conversations are just, they need to be had.
Yeah.
And they aren't talked about enough. And that's the cool part about things like this podcast is like, we get to talk about real stuff. And if you're a young athlete listening, it doesn't get easier, but the more you use that, like practice that muscle of like making your brain do what you want to, it does get easier that way.
Well, and I heard something this morning I thought was really good, and it said she was one of the leaders of Quest. She had designed the protein bar company Quest, and she was like, "Yeah, don't compare yourself to me. Of course, I'm better than you. I've been doing this for 10 years.
Yes.
I have went through the trials. I have went through like don't compare yourself to me. You're just starting out. You can't compare yourself to
Dude,
me."
that's so important.
And I thought that was so good because it's like, yes, we want to compare ourselves and we want to be like, well, I'm not as good at podcasting as Oprah Winfrey. Well, have I interviewed as many people as Oprah Winfrey? No. So can I really compare myself? No. That's what she was saying. And I thought, man, that's so good. And you can apply it to everything. Like, do you think you ride as good as Richmond Champion? Well,
better,
I mean, you probably ride better, but
I mean, I'd crack back out right now.
I mean, today.
Prove it.
Back to back. Let's go,
Richie.
Yeah.
Calling you out, Richie.
We're calling him out right now. But you know what I'm saying? Like, have you put the work in that Richmond's done?
Probably
Have you? No, and I don't mean just you, but I mean like any
No, I'm just saying in
athlete.
general, probably not. Like,
Have you went through, like, you want to be a world champion? Have you done what they have done?
right.
Have you, you know, and so
That's the hard conversation,
Those are the
though.
hard conversations
That's the
and being
look in the
honest
mirror.
about it instead of being like, well, I want to be a world champion. Okay, how many hours are you getting in the gym? What are you finding that's healthy to eat in Buc-ee's?
Yeah.
She doesn't think it's possible.
It's not
I'm gonna show
possible.
her.
Yes,
Beaver
it
nuts,
is.
you can't
It's so
walk-
possible.
You can't walk past beaver
I
nuts.
don't eat. I do. I
I
walk
do.
past them every time I go in there.
Well, good
I-
for you. You're not healthy.
I buy them. I love
do too.
beaver
I
nuggets.
eat them
I love them.
after I eat my cheese. Okay, but
Cheese and nuggets. Health.
But I mean-
H-E-L-T-H.
This is really digressed very quickly
yeah, I
here.
know
That was
it went
rapid.
down a rabbit hole. But it is like when you're comparing yourself, are they at the same level you are? Are they where you want to be? How can you use
It
what
was the
they've
biggest
got?
battle that I
It's
faced
the
my
goal
entire
setting.
career. You know, like I got to rodeo with a guy that had won 3 gold buckles in my event, and everywhere we went, he won. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it was super hard. That's giving me PTSD right there from
This
our
elk
country
call
trip.
going
Yeah,
off?
for sure.
Yeah.
Did you guys not
Yeah.
get one?
We got very close.
Yeah,
We got very close.
It's actually I'm not
Like
ready for that
7
hard
yards
conversation
close.
yet. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
We're not
we're
really.
not
I'm not
hard
ready for that
conversation
quite
yet? Okay.
So, yeah.
Hopefully we can still hear us. Yeah, the hard conversations with yourself, that's where that all comes from, right? What fires you up about the next generation, like coming up, the future of breakaway roping? What's something that is exciting to you that you see? Where's the sport headed?
I think the thing that fires me up the most is the fact that they're flipping tough and they have no fear. And they push me to be better every single day. And it's cool to see, like, when you surround yourself by those people, you rise up, or you don't, and you get out, right? But it's like to be able to still compete at that level and know, like, they watched us, they modeled us, they took what we had and they made it better.
Yep.
We can still be better, and so they're constantly pushing us to be faster. You know, I think the sport of breakaway roping, I don't think there's a limit to it. There's so many numbers.
What do you think, like 5 to 10 years? Big picture.
I bet there's over 2,000 members,
Crazy.
minimum.
Yeah.
In the Northwest, which rodeo people will know this, in the Northwest, after August, you see a pretty big fall off
Right.
of numbers, right?
Yep.
And people go home and lick their wounds, or they stay out there and try to make the NFR. There was still 200 girls entered in the breakaway roping from August to September. Like, then suckers just would not go home. I'm like, go home.
Go away.
Leave.
Yeah.
They don't go home. And so they're committed. They're in for the long haul. Their families are going all in. They're supporting them down the road. They're getting them the rigs, the horses. I think it's great for the industry.
Yeah.
But it's tough. And I think you either got to get up, rise up, or get out.
There almost needs to be like a tour.
Yeah.
Like a separate. We've talked about this a few times. Like, yeah, baseball's got a minor league, a Division 1, 2, 3, all the way up to the major leagues, right? PBR has that as well. They've got the Unleash the Beast Challenger, Velocity.
Yeah.
I feel like hopefully we're heading there, and I think it could evolve. And this is like my big picture for rodeo is that there is almost like a tour that is the top 15 only, and they go to X amount of rodeos a year. There's 50 of them, say.
Right.
Then you turn on the other 5,000 to 2,000 added into a velocity tour,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Somewhere
yeah.
where.
Like golf.
Yeah.
A lot like golf, but I think now that what I know now about cattle numbers and whatnot, and I
That would be way
have a hard.
better.
Yeah.
You would the quality of cattle for everybody involved, because you're taking those entries and you're really dropping them down significantly. Like, it would just be better. I feel like for
It
everybody.
would be a better production. It would be better for the ropers. You'd have better chances. One thing that I've learned, which is a tough conversation again to have, but there's a lot of offense that comes with women and being limited numbers. Everybody wants a chance, which I understand and I get. Like, I'm in the situation this year. I went home last year early. We'd had some things going on in my family. Like, I'm not in the top 30. I'm in one of the build-in rodeos. It's going to look a lot different for me this year.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I haven't been over there. I've been to Florida. But the path's going to look different. But I will say that I used to think everybody needs a chance. Don't limit it. You can't just be the top 15. Well, just because you have a rope doesn't mean you should be able to enter and get
No.
to rope against
Agreed.
the best in the world. If you want to get chances to rope at places like that, get yourself out there, get your rope, get behind that driving wheel, get after it. Because I had a different perspective after I rodeoed for 6 years. There's a reason that they're in the top 15, the top 20, the top 30, and they've paid their dues. They've stuck it out. They've drove all over the world, and if you want that same opportunity, you do it yourself.
Think about like the lack of cattle, right? And the having to draw something that's good. And you said there's that many girls entering. You're bound to have a big pool of inexperience in there.
Oh,
that
yeah.
is obviously not even close to the caliber that the top 15 is at. That is now drawing potentially a calf that is
That
coulda
we
had
could
to-
get.
yes,
Yes.
and then it gets messed up, and then you have to draw a POS, and it's it's like
The chances are hard.
it gets harder, and they're wasting opportunities in something that we don't have a lot of good opportunities at anyways, just because we're limited on the cattle.
Yeah.
So like I feel like that could fix a lot in that sense.
Yeah.
But also like we need to get you guys into Thomas and Mack first.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great. I think for us, for me, and there's a lot of opinions, everybody's got one, we're roping at $6,000 rounds.
It's what's to complain about, right?
And so that's amazing. But at the same time, I would love to get to do the Thomas and Mack. But I would rather be able to rodeo all year long. Like Taylor Munsell's coming in this year with $192,000 won.
Yeah.
We have a lot of the same opportunities to win the same money the guys are winning, which is awesome. And then we get to our finals and we're winning $6,000
Yeah.
rounds.
No,
so
it's-
for me, the round money, the added money to the breakaway finals is more of a concern and a push to where maybe next year it's $10,000 rounds, maybe it's $15,000 rounds. To be able to run one a night for $30,000, life changing.
Yeah.
But we're still and it's our choice, right? Nobody's holding a gun to our head making us rodeo. But I think that for me is more of a how can we get our added money up there? The PRCA, the WPRA have included us. That's great. Now we need to step up our added money because we can win more than $6,000 at a middle down the road rodeo.
Yeah. No, that's definitely something that needs to be addressed, right?
Yeah.
It's been 5 years, 6 years. Okay. Yeah, something's got to give there.
When I made it to the finals in 2020, the rounds paid $4,800.
That's not a lot of evolution on
I
that.
wanna-
No.
Especially when
Yeah.
you look at the rounds,
Yeah.
what are happening at
Yeah.
the
And now
finals
the
each
rounds
year.
are paying $6, which is I'm again thankful.
Yes.
But I also that's my big focus for breakaway ropers is how do we get that to step up when we're doing the same as everybody else.
Absolutely, and the popularity of it is insane. It's,
Right. That's because girls are crazy. You know
she
this.
said it, not me.
Agreed.
Yeah, I will come on statement for that.
Oh, that's awesome. No, it's exciting. I'm excited for the sport. I'm excited for just rodeo as a whole. But I love watching breakaway roping. Like, hopefully there's no tie down ropers around. Like way more than I like watching calf roping.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're also prettier. Some of us.
I just think about just the even the time on like a production, right? That event goes way faster than tie down.
One of the cool things is we can run 12 girls, 15 girls in 8 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like it just fits
It's
something like this.
and that was something we've worked on. I laugh. The first NFR I made, I got a $1,500 fine because I sat in the box for 2 minutes. And after that, as soon as I hit the corner, I was nodding.
Yeah.
So, but we've really worked on some things because when we got in there, we didn't know. We were rookies, and I think that we've stepped up a lot as athletes and learned some etiquette. Some of us still need to learn some more. But it's been fun to do, and the rodeo even like the coolest thing I thought was when they rescheduled the breakaway this year. I had other athletes, and I'm not even in the finals this year, but other athletes from other events call me and be like, let's get it in the Thomas and Mack.
Yeah.
A barrel racer, a tie down roper, a steer wrestler that were in the finals. So that's been fun to see other competitors excited about the breakaway and wanting it to be a part of it. Because at first they were like, you little rats, get out of here, and I don't blame them.
Yeah. It's just change is hard.
Yeah.
And you were just talking about it's been 6 years, and $1,200 increase on the prize money does not feel like a lot, but the beginning parts of change are always the longest
Oh, yeah.
periods, right? And so we're
And
in
it's
this
come
like,
fast. I mean, we're in almost every rodeo. We have equal added money almost everywhere. Like,
well, how
the
many girls are
committees-
getting run down the road with sponsors now?
Oh
Like,
man, sponsors have been a huge part. Like it's been, even though I think we're obviously women, we want it now and like yesterday, but it's been an overwhelming response through the community, and they've stepped it up and they've given us a lot of chances.
Oh, it's cool. It's really cool. What what would you say to the young girl that wants to do what you do, wants to make the NFR, wants to make a living, be a breakaway roper?
I think you better be crazy.
Every rodeo athlete's like that.
I would say find somebody that'll help you. That's been there, that's done that. There's a lot of learning.
How do you find a mentor?
I think you just got to ask.
Okay. It's hard to ask.
You know, that's one thing that my goal is, I had a lady the other day, we're talking about all the same stuff. She's like, well, you should have just asked me. And I'm like, you're one of the crudest, most stoic women I've ever, you don't have a welcoming feeling about you. I'm not just like, hey, how's your mom? How's your cat? How do I enter the breakaway roping? I wouldn't ask you. But honestly, there is not a person in this event that I've been like, hey, what's this? And they haven't given me the answer. So ask. If somebody doesn't give you an answer, ask somebody else. It doesn't have to be just one person, but ask.
I think it should be more than one person, when giving advice, right?
Yeah.
It's good to get multiple
Absolutely.
points of view and perspectives, because there's just so much more that happens in the world that you can get locked in and be this is what's happening, and then someone else explains it to you, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Yep, not at all, actually. I need to change that.
I think the biggest thing, too, is to kind of find somebody that you think models your values. You know, everybody's a little bit different. Everybody has a little bit different scene, but that's something that I've learned. I'm pretty set in my ways now of what my rig looks like, what my day looks like, how I'm going to start it, what I'm going to do, what I'm not going to do, and it doesn't fit everybody's mold, and that's okay. But find somebody that does fit your mold, that you're going to be aligned with, and then you can build from there.
So that's for somebody that wants to make the NFR. That's roping. My daughter, 9, and she's been barrel racing and pole bending and doing some goat tail and tying and goat flanking for a minute.
That a girl.
She asked for a breakaway rope for Christmas. So if you are talking to a young girl that gets to watch the Cowboy Channel and that watches the breakaway roping at every rodeo and is like, I want to get there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get started in the sport. How would you go about getting started in the sport if you're maybe not from a rodeo family,
right,
or something of that nature?
You know, again, I think the biggest thing I would say for me where I'm at is building those little girls' confidence and putting them in situations that's not going to break their confidence. You know, one of the things here is I want to go to Texas. I want to go to Texas. If I had a daughter that was 9 years old, I hope she gets to go to Texas at some point and rope against those girls. But never would I give her that opportunity unless I thought she was ready mentally, physically, and emotionally. Setting yourself up for success. So I would say focus on the basics, right? There's so many great clinicians out there now. Larry Guy, Kelsey Domer, Martha Angeloni, they do clinics. Get them in a clinic, see if they're hungry for it. Make them rope the dummy every day, or not make them, but if they want to rope work on the mechanical parts of it. Yeah. But I would say most of anything is building their confidence up, getting them to believe in themselves, knowing that you're not what you win. Your self-worth isn't defined by what you win in the arena, because that's a big struggle I've had for a long time, and I still struggle with it. You know, and especially being on the platforms that we're on. Like I said, everybody wants to talk to you when you win, and nobody's texting you when you lose. So building that identity up is where I would start. The mechanics and the foundation, and if they're hungry, one thing Raymond did for me that was helpful is I went up through the ranks. I think the biggest mistake these girls make now is they turn 18, they buy their card, and they're going to rodeo. Bring us your money.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that I can beat you or anything. It's just the experience, all the things that go with it. You're not prepared. And so I wasn't prepared, or I'll just speak for myself. I wouldn't have been prepared. And so what I did was Raymond took me to the ultimate calf ropings, and he's like, if you can win there, great, well then we'll go somewhere else. Well, first year I got my butt kicked. Second year I won the world champion ultimate calf roping breakaway champion against a guy. I beat a guy, that's staying right, his name was Billy Morrow. And
never came back after that.
Name drop. But so I went to then I went to amateur association, right? Went for a year, got my butt kicked. Came back the next year, won the average, almost won the year in. Placed in all the rounds. I worked my way up. I did, I would say high school, amateurs, then start going to some pro rodeos. See if you can make it happen and go from there. But it's working your way up the ranks, building that confidence, and finding your self-worth is not in the arena.
That's awesome. Love that.
Oh, that's absolutely it. One piece of advice, one belief a gift that you could give young female athletes, what would it be?
I would say believing in yourself. And for me, it's the knowing the Word of God and building off that foundation. But if you believe in yourself, I really don't think there's anything you can't do. And that's one thing I didn't have when I started that I still work on every day.
It takes practice.
Every day you got to practice.
A lot of practice. We got a couple more minutes. We got 5 minutes left. So the team that surrounds you, right? You've talked about them the entire hour that we've been together. I don't think a lot of people understand how much of a team it takes to get you to where you are. Can you just kind of expand on how that's evolved and like how needed it is?
It's very, very...
Oh, it's all good. We're almost done.
We still got the audio though.
Yeah. We got, I think so.
So I would say that for me, it's as you grow and your steps grow, right? Like when I first started, it was me and Raymond and some of my family, and then it became my team of sponsors, and those commitments grew, and then I've learned how to delegate some things, which is hard for me because I want to be Superwoman and do everything. But like I have a team that works for me for my business. Then having, hey, I need help working out. Asking for help is the biggest thing I've learned, and it's been hard for me because I'm like, well, I can do it. Well, yeah, you can do it, but can you do it the best?
That's it.
No.
That's
Doug
it.
Champion is a way better trainer than you two.
Yeah.
Let him, pay him. If you wanted it, like that was something I've learned too, is like invest in the future you want to be, right? It's going to be expensive to train, but how much more expensive is it if you don't?
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly.
It's going to be expensive if you don't have a mental coach, or if you have one, right? It's expensive. It's an investment, $1,000 or so more a month. But what if you don't? So that's where like investing in other people to bring them on your team. But then, like I said, vetting it to where it's like, do they align with my beliefs? Are they on the same page? I've had to work at like saying no. And I like everybody, but not everybody aligns with what I believe in, and I can't have those people in my circle because it doesn't align with me or where I'm at, and I've had to say no. But it doesn't mean we haven't been friends or we still don't talk or have that relationship. It's just they're not in my inner circle.
Right.
Like I've tried to look at it like a target. Like here's Jesus, God, there's Raymond, then there's my, it just kind of flares out and gets bigger and bigger. But those people have been so great. There is a longing to see. I've tried to make a note in my phone starting in 2019, like it says people that have helped me, because I didn't want to forget them.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's the worst thing is like everybody, you see where I'm at and you're like, oh, well, she got there. Oh, what? No. So many people opened so many doors for me to have these opportunities, and they're still opening those doors, and some doors have closed. And that's one of my prayers every day is like, God, open the doors that need to be open and close the doors that need to be closed.
That's it.
And so I think that's been huge, but there's been so many people, and again, just asking for help. Like it's amazing when David Nelson with Perini told me, I said, what's one thing you would tell somebody? He said, just ask. I'm like, just ask? And he's like, yeah, what are they going to do, tell you no?
Yep.
I'm like, well, yeah. And he's like, okay, then ask again.
Yep.
So, I don't know, I'd say just ask, but the people, God opens the doors, and the people that you will need will be brought to you.
That's so cool. And that's it. Like, just asking is very simple, but all of these things that make really successful people successful are usually very simple at the core. You just have to go do them.
Yeah,
you just have the courage to do them, right? And so it's been awesome catching up with you, Jordan.
Thanks
we love
for
having
me.
you on here. Everyone, thank you for listening. I know we lost the camera there, but we'll get the audio out to you guys. And thank you to our sponsors, Rodeo Now app. Go ahead and download the Rodeo Now app if you have not. It is free to download, available in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. And
I have an account on there. I have all my runs.
It's sweet, isn't it?
It's so cool. Then you don't forget about them.
You don't forget about them. You can record, like track everything. You're going to get that calf again sometime, eventually. Also, the slow-mo effect. Like you can slow motion your runs on everything
it
and
is
really dial it in.
an amazing tool with the Rodeo Now app.
It's cool. Yeah. So check it out, y'all. Download Rodeo Now, and until next time, we'll catch you later.
Sweet. Oh, my feet are asleep. Yeah.